Welcome to Orange County Power Players, where we spotlight the personal, professional, and financial success stories of OC's top leaders. Here's your host, Danny Flores.
Welcome back to OC Power Players. I'm Danny Flores, your host, and our honored guest today is Stephen Durham. He is the CEO and founder of Bardot Vegan Beauty and has spent 20 years in the beauty space. He is zooming with us from Dana Point. Welcome, Stephen.
Welcome, Danny. It's nice to be on your podcast.
Now, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got there.
So, yes, my name's Stephen Durham, and I intend now to create brands. I started off when I left university. I went into set up a salon in London. Then I grew those salons to three in Notting Hill, Camden, and Battersea. And as a result of that, I launched my first brand in boots in the UK. And then fast forward, I moved out to the States in 2008 with my family, and we had a brand from the UK that followed me over to hair in the US. I was contacted by someone at Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada who told me he was moving to Dwayne Reed in New York and he wanted a brand. So we moved the brand there called Twisted Sister. And then from there, he became the buyer of Walgreens because Walgreens absorbed Dwayne Reed, and we launched in 8,000 stores in 2010. And then I grew that business nationally and internationally. Then I exited that business in 2019. And then I started a new brand for ASOS fashion called American English. And just as I had launched that, I was approached by IMG, who has said that because I work with clean beauty and vegan products, that they had a client who was very interested in working with me. And they told me it was Bardot. So I had some discussions with IMG and Bardot team, and we decided to collaborate on a beauty range. And here we are now. Fast forward, we've launched a brand in the US, we've launched in Canada, and we're looking to launch in Australia, and we're already in Belgium and in Holland as well. Yep.
So how many stores does that make? You're in so many different countries already.
So mainly we're online, but we have launched in Canada. We're up to 500 stores at the moment and growing, and that will grow to about 900 stores by the summer.
Wow,
yeah,
that's very fast growth. Congratulations,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Now, we know that in the beauty space, it's very competitive. There's
absolutely
multiple different products that people can pick. Why would they go to yours? What stands out better than what stands out with your product? One, and how do you infiltrate the market to be able to market your product and people see it and like it?
Great question. That's a really great question. My background is that I ran salons, and I'm not a hairdresser. So I spent many years washing hair for my hairdressers, basically, taking off their colors, their relaxers, their perms, using the right product. So we approach the products by making sure that the shampoo and the conditioners cleanse and condition. And they're extremely lightweight, so they don't weigh down the hair. So the stylist can then use the styling products, like gels and hairsprays and waxes to then create styles. So what we've done with the Bardot range, we've looked at a small part of the market, which is people who have problems bringing volume into their hair. And we created 5 products for that, specifically for volume, to create volume. A volumizing shampoo, a conditioner, a lift and volume spray, and a texture spray, and a dry shampoo. All the products are cleanly formulated. There's no gunk in there. And they are also vegan as well, basically. Yeah. They are salon professional tested, and they go into salon professional environment first before they go into retail. So one thing I learned in my time with Danny with products is that hairdressers are the greatest advertisers of products. Basically, they talk to their clients and they put the word out. They like to use social media to mess about and create looks on social media. So we always give it to the stylist first. Yeah,
Okay. So that's like reaching them and they're like, they do self-advertising for you and then it goes.
absolutely. Yeah, you can take it from there. Yeah, yeah.
So is that like a lot of footwork going to salons,
Um,
introducing the product?
well, great question. I mean, with the Bardot range, I kind of put it on the website first, and then I had a lot of hairdressers contacting me, and from there I had a company called Greg Dawson who are a sales team that specifically go into salons and distributors, and the distributors then go into salons. So that's how I got this product range out there. Basically, is
Okay.
through a network of salespeople working with distributors nationally. Yeah. And then also what we do, we then give
Wow. Okay. All right.
and then we give product to we also give product to key stylists that have good clientele in the spaces of film stars or pop stars, and we sample that way, and then
Yeah.
obviously we get good feedback and pictures of these artists using these products. Yeah,
Wow.
that makes it
Wow.
very
Okay.
newsworthy.
So now, yeah. Yeah. No, no.
And going forward now, we're now developing another
That
six
definitely
products.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, that definitely makes sense to be able to have that reach and that let the users promote your product. I mean, what
Yes.
better promotion do you want, right? If they like it and they're using it. Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
so what comes easy to you that others find challenging?
Um, Great question. I think it's a combination of I'm not a hairdresser and I studied economics, so I kind of understand slightly of the business side of things. But I then spent a lot of the time working and running my own salons for years, so I get the view of the hairdresser and the client. Yeah. So that kind of 360 approach has helped me move the business on. Most brands are kind of set up by influencers or people who had a recipe from their parents and they wanted to put it out there. Um,
Mhm.
I'm more traditional. I kind of basically ran salons, worked in it, swept the floor, made cups of tea, washed the hair, spoke to the clients, spoke to the hairdressers, spoke to the reps like from L'Oreal or from Bumble. I kind of got my education from that. It's very much a hands-on approach. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what's helped you, right?
Yeah.
Move ahead so fast at such a fast pace.
Yeah.
Now, if someone is listening to us and they want to get started in the business or they want to do what you do, what would you suggest for them to do and how to go about that?
Great question. Firstly, if they're very, really passionate about it, they should do it. They've got to be passionate about it, and then they've got to write down a plan. Don't leave in your head. Write down a plan of what you want to do and how you want to do it, and how a 10-point plan. This is what I want to do. These are the products I want. This is how I'm going to make the products. This is where I want to put the products. It could be the salon. It could be in a retailer like J.C. Penney or Sephora or Ulta. You've got to decide where you want to put the product. You may even decide to say, I actually want to put it on Amazon to test it out
Mhm.
first. I only want to sell it on Amazon or my own website. Have a focus plan and choose one of those retail outlets. Yeah, and focus on that. Yeah, it's all about focus. It's hyper focusing at every level.
Right.
Most
Having the
most important,
product.
yeah. Define your audience.
Right, right. And I think that's just in anything, right? You have to know who you're targeting and who you're helping basically at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And if you can define your audience, you can define your price point. And that's how they go hand in hand, the audience and the price point. So you know how to cost it out. Yeah. And you can,
Right.
depend
Now,
on you, you can decide to start small. You can decide to start slightly bigger. That will depend on how much capital you can raise or how much you can do on your own. Um, because I spent a lot of time in salons working from the grassroots up, I I was able to do a lot on my own without hiring loads of people. Yep.
Right, right, right. But that's really good experience to be able to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what has been one of your biggest challenges in your career?
I think knocking on doors and convincing people that you can do this and it's worthy of shelf time. Once I've done that, and the others coupled with that, deciding on how to raise money. That's pretty challenging, especially because I kind of want to do this journey on my own, self-contained, so I can build a team and not have multiple partners.
Mhm.
So the brand doesn't get diluted. I've kind of decided at a very early age. I don't want like multiple different people bringing in money in because they're going to have a way of doing things, and I'm very focused on how I want to do it. Basically, yeah. So you have to define your capital, decide how you're going to get it, and if you're not going to take outside money, it's going to be a slower, much more painful growth. Yeah. But the rewards at the end
Right, right.
that you can protect your team, and if you build up a good culture, you can protect your team in terms of their employment and how you want to build a company out. Yeah.
Hmm. Wow,
And then
those are that's good information there. Now, it looks like you're doing really well. You've had a couple exits. Congratulations on that.
thank you.
Now, there's business owners such as yourselves that also look for other ways to generate passive income aside from their regular business to try to maybe set themselves up for retirement or add additional income for their families. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, certainly when I was younger, when I started this business, I wanted to do multiple things. Buy a home, which is the first thing, buy another home, investment home, and have these multiple streams. I've kind of changed as I've got older now, and I'm in a newer country, so it's not easy. You have to navigate it differently when you're, I wouldn't want to say a foreigner, but you don't have the connections. You don't have the connections of college people and university alumni. So I think what my view is to hyper focused on what I'm good at, basically to build income, to build revenue. For instance, look, at the end of the day, you could build a business in 10 years and exit it for 10, 15, 20 million. You could exit for 100 million. But if you made 10 million out of that, that's going to be more return than buying four houses, and waiting for it to go up or down, basically, and you got mortgages. So, you're probably going to build more equity. I mean, if you look at the business between running your own businesses and the stock exchange, they're the ways where people make hyper loads of cash, basically. Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you're an entrepreneur, I would say really, really focus on building your business, building equity, yeah, building something that people want,
Mhm.
and then find the right partner to take you to the next level. At some point, you may have to get a partner in, and to put some money in, but at that point, you may be relatively comfortable in what you've built, and they will leave you to control it because it's working. Does that make sense? So they're now in. They're now jumped on the bus for the ride.
Right,
Yeah, not to take the steering wheel. Yeah. So
right,
it's two ways. You can, I think when you're younger, I think approaches to, the saying, have seven ways of making income.
right,
That's a way of doing it. So you got seven streams. My view is that I'll look at it from this way. Okay, distributor, retail, Amazon, your own website. Does that make sense? There's five there already, and work out affiliate marketing, six. So you make seven ways within your own business, you know. Now, if you
right.
launch another product range and then the same thing, you've got 14 ways of making money coming in. Yeah. And that's kind of the way I'm approaching it now.
Right, right, right. And that helps you mitigate any fluctuations in income or
Absolutely. Yeah.
in the economy. If one of the streams gets compressed or even goes away, then you just have more to keep you going forward.
Yeah. And probably the biggest lesson learned over COVID, isn't it, Danny? Was that. Yeah. Is
Right.
that things can go away really quickly.
They can. right? I think we've all been there.
Yep.
So,
That's
yeah,
that was a big learning curve for me. I mean, it wasn't a learning in the sense that, wow, if you were just all in retailers and all the shops were shut, what were you going to do? You know, and everything's going more digital these days, so you have to embrace that. Yeah, you know, embrace the digital approach to selling product, and the challenges and the opportunities are probably in AI. It's just a term at the moment, but it's something that I want to have some time to dig deep into. If there was a course at a college, I would love to do a course in AI, because so I really understand in the next chapter how it can really benefit a business. Yeah.
yeah, you got to look into that. I've learned a little bit,
Yeah,
very bit, and it's just amazing what AI can do for you.
absolutely. You've got it, Danny. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It's you don't stay in front by standing still.
No,
You got to keep moving with the times.
and it just moves so fast.
Yeah,
It'll accelerate what you're trying to accomplish like 100 times fold. It's just
yeah,
amazing.
absolutely. Yeah,
So I think everybody should learn as much as they can about AI because it's here.
it's
That
here.
that
Absolutely.
I've talked to people, and it's not going to displace jobs unless you don't embrace it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's your friend. It's not going to be your enemy.
It's your friend. It's here. We're not. It's not going away. So we got to learn how to use it.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. They're not developing robots to cut hair.
Hey, wait a minute. Not yet. We don't know what they're working on.
So you're good for a little while, Steve, and you
Yeah,
hear people out there.
that could be you.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap up our interview, what does 2025 look like for you?
Great question, Danny. Really just kind of digging deeper foundations and expanding. So a couple of things we're looking at. We're looking to upgrade all our digital response. So we've started to do that with our Instagram. And now we're looking at Pinterest and Facebook and TikTok if it's still going to be around.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we're looking to upgrade our digital on our website. One of the key things that people can buy on a website, we can train hairdressers on a website. We can upload content, education, have a salon portal there specific for hairdressers. We're looking to really look at low hanging fruit internationally, in places in Europe and maybe Australia. We're talking to people now about that. And then we're also looking by the summer of this year to expand our product range. We've got 6 new products coming out, which is really exciting. We've got a nourishing, extremely weightless oil, so it'll never overload your hair. And we're venturing into hydration, which is a really great for frizzy hair, basically. So we've got a line of products coming out of that in July. And then we started to work on a body range as well. So we kind of can enter the spa arena with the range. So we're not just in hair salons, we're in spas and beauty places as well. Yeah.
Wow. No,
That's
congratulations.
2025. Yeah.
That's an exciting year. This year's going to be exciting for you guys.
Yeah. So Danny,
Well, Steve, thanks so much for joining us today. And if somebody's listening and wants to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
they can email me at stephen@bardotveganbeauty.com. That's stephen@bardotveganbeauty.com. Stephen spelled with a PH. And I would always kind of, return their call, email. That's the best and quickest way to get me. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.
And thanks, Danny. Thanks for, you do a lovely podcast. Thanks for making time for me and the Bardot team. We really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Orange County Power Players. Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at ocpowerplayers.com/guest.